James Roberts, the Truth Teller here for Newscaller.com. Man, the trolls are in full force. They are licking their chops in regards to this CCW being revoked, this piece I put out a couple of days ago. I was contacted via back channels. Some individuals from some political websites wanted me to do some follow-up, talk to Mr. Reed. I did so I'm going to just go ahead and jump into it. I asked Mr. Reed, since his issuance of the CCW, had he been issued a citation from the Sheriff's Department? He said no. I followed up and said, how about with any agency within the state of California? He replied yes. In April, he was issued a speeding ticket by the California Highway Patrol, CHP. I then said, hey, since your issuance of the CCW, had you been placed under arrest by the Sheriff's Department? And he replied no. I said, how about in the last 5 years, have you had any arrests? He said no. 10 years, no. He even further said he hasn't even had a drink in 15 years. So that was quite interesting. I then followed up and said, hey, there's a lot of chatter about a 422 that went down, I think last week. What was your involvement? He said, look, James, I arrived on scene once the deputies were actually conducting their investigation. I parked across the street, never contacted the female, the male, the other male. He goes, I stayed across the street. That's when the deputies eventually, during their investigation came over and spoke to me. I advised them I had a CCW, and that's what happened. So it pretty much kind of goes down to this, people. You got kind of a multiple choice. A, did the Sheriff's Department revoke the CCW due to him being on scene via de facto guilt by association of this alleged 422. 2, did they revoke it because he looks rough around the edges, facial hair, he doesn't look all clean cut, and he rides a motorcycle and he's part of a legal motorcycle club? Or C, his involvement with Newscaller.com, being on my podcast, video series, and my endorsement of Mr. Schrader for sheriff. In my personal opinion, I think it's probably a mixture of all three. I think, yeah, they probably say, it's a right, it's a right, not a right, it's a privilege to have a CCW, and you had bad judgment, so we're going to go ahead and revoke it. That's one option. 2, yeah, he probably doesn't look real clean cut, so they probably revoked it as well. And 3, I think a cherry on top, it was another way just to kind of stick it to his opponent. So that's just my personal opinion. So you're going to have to decide and go from there. But this story kind of just keeps on ticking. I'm going to try to get a copy of the official letter from the Sheriff's Department as to what the actual cause was, because everything right now is kind of speculation. But we know there's something that's going on the back end of this story. And I'm going to stay on and try to, kind of sort it out. So just remember, people, it doesn't matter if you drink tea on the left or coffee on the right. Just don't drink the Kool-Aid. And this story just keeps on ticking. I'm out. Peace.